What advice would you give someone brand new to site supervision coming from a technical background? This was a question given to me that I thought was so interesting that I'm going to answer in this video right here. So what I'm going to go through is really the key and some examples of some of the things I've seen from people in technical backgrounds. And I really want to help. This is not a criticism in any way, shape, or form. And I think you're going to like this perspective once I'm done, because it's going to help anybody coming from that technical background to be successful. So if you're into that, stay with us. Okay, so let me intro by saying that there's nothing wrong with coming from a technical background. Absolutely love it. I will say technical backgrounds are more computers, data, siloed working environment, focus. The world of construction, whether we like it or not, is like a big extroverted mess. And in fact, it's so much so that we have to do our best and go out of our way to gather the wisdom, because they have so much wisdom, the wisdom of introverted people. Because introverted people aren't slow or dumb, they are thorough and thoughtful. And so thoroughness and thoughtfulness takes some more time. So introverted people are fantastic when it comes to making great decisions, but we are in this chaotic, fast-paced, extroverted kind of mess. And I have seen people in technical backgrounds, they have their cameras shut off in virtual meetings, they like to be behind closed doors, they're very data-driven, don't like to talk too much, minimize the interaction, mostly messages, emails, maybe a phone call. We're going to have to move out of that and into firmly the how do I deal with people framework. So step number one, what advice would I give somebody coming from a technical background? And I've given this advice more than once, is read How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I would say get out. You're going to be able to get out in front of others in meetings. You're going to get out in huddles. You're going to want to get out into the field. You're going to want to get out and actually talk to the foreman. Like, just getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, if you got to go home and take a nap, super understand. But like, you're going to have to get out and like get into this mess of people. And if you want to deal with people, there's no better book in my mind than How to Win Friends and Influence People. So the biggest thing that you can understand is that in a technical role, right, 80% is like, technical skills, ability, 20% is people. Now, when you're in a management leadership role, honestly, that 80% is people and the rest of it is technical knowledge. This is going to hang true or stay true for most things that we talk about when you're in any kind of leadership realm. So that's number one, and you have to have this skill. If you're listening to me and you're like, Jason, great suggestion. I love the book idea. I'm not really going to do it. Thank you for the idea though. Nope, stop. Please wait. Please, 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 please stop. Go get this book on Audible. The narrator is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Read this every year. This is going to take care of most of what you're wanting to do in your new role. The second thing that I want to talk about is, and I've mentioned this interestingly in the video shoot today where I do 20 videos, I've talked about this multiple times. Ask questions. In your previous role, you probably had to be the subject matter expert on a lot of things, and you didn't need to ask a lot of questions. In this role, you're going to have 20, 30, 40 different trades, scopes of work. You cannot be an expert on all those scopes. You're going to have to ask curious questions and really build off of your relationship and figure out everything you need to know using the genius of the team. So you're going from certainty-based role, a knowledge expert, subject matter expert, base from a role standpoint, and you're moving into a teaming role, leadership role, where you're going to have to rely on the team. And this comes back to Jocko Willink's laws of combat: cover and move, which means build the team; simplify the mission, which means make sure that everything is clear and visual; prioritize and execute means do first things first and make sure that we are dispassionately focused on the right priorities; and then decentralized command, which means that everybody leads. And so you're going to have to go from an I lead and I control my sphere to an everybody leads, decentralized command type approach, which means you ask questions and everybody sees as a group, knows as a group, and acts as a group. And the third thing that I want to say is connect, connect, connect. I know this probably sounds redundant or silly, and you're probably like, why is Jason on a YouTube video saying this to me? It's because this is probably the most important thing that I could ever share with you. Connect with your family and the people most important with you. Connect with your project team and make sure that you are one united team and connect with all of the folks in the field, especially the foreman. Connect, and connect some more. Kind comments, shake their hand, look them in the eye, go out to lunch with them, praise their work, ask how you can help, remove roadblocks, have real conversations, create psychological safety. These are the skills. I could tell you other things like leadership patterns, and I could talk to you about the 5 dysfunctions of a team, but really specific to this question, this is key right here. And let me just say one other thing. You are going to have to, like I say everywhere else, when it comes to dealing with people on site, you're Brene Brown and Simon Sinek when it comes to people. You are loving, kind, and connected. When it comes to the environment, when it comes to safety, when it comes to cleanliness, when it comes to organization, you are General Patton in World War II. There is no deviations from this. We don't need any outside opinions on this. We don't need, like, what I mean is the standards as how to do it, absolutely. But what we're doing, it will be clean, safe, and organized. It is a tactical law. This is what we're doing. And by having command and control of the environment, we are able to stay away from command and control of people and truly support, love, and care for them. And so these are the 4 bits of advice that I would give to somebody coming from a technical background, heading into construction leadership. I'm going to turn this into a blog post for you and a little visual. I hope you've enjoyed it. On we go.